Yeah, something like that. We're back at it out here at the Collapsing Corner store, and we are uncovering some interesting things. So let's get inside and take a look at what's going on today. So more salvage, just knocking off the last few blocks here. And the real fun starts down below. Last time you saw us taking more of the floor off here, and yeah, not looking so great. So I just walked around down there and checked things out again. Let's go down there and take a look. That looks like a fun bath, though maybe pine scented. So back here, we knew we clearly had some, well, clearly have an issue there where it's missing, but these we already knew were sunk down. So we had looked over some options with the architect and settled on maybe we could bolt and epoxy a double 2x10 ledger in under these, because at first glance it appeared that it's mostly rot at the ends of these joists. Now you can clearly see that that needs to be replaced. But as we were able to get a closer look, like the tops here, just like over there, are rotten. This was replaced at some point with some new plywood, and you can see it continued to get water after that. So there were some issues going way back in parts of this. But like, there's not even enough, even if we could reuse, there's not enough to bear on a ledger in about half the case as we work along. You can probably pick up that like everything is rotten in the pockets, and they've all settled a little bit, so we would also be jacking it up to get a ledger under there. So I counted how many joists are either missing or don't have enough left to bear at the end, or are clearly damaged somewhere in the midspan. And there's 120 joists if you count each side as a separate half, because we would just get 10 footers and bear in the beam and split it. A lot easier to put it back in that way. And 60 have very visible signs of issues that they cannot be reused. I mean, these were hacked off. This whole corner entry needs to be rebuilt. So that's half. That's kind of a pretty obvious point of no return. Like, why would we actually try to ledger and go through all that work when we're removing the subfloor anyway? That's what Dave's picking up back there. So at that point, 2x10x10 is $10 right now. We would get a bulk discount buying this many, so even a little bit less. And labor's not too bad, just putting these in place. Like, I couldn't even buy the epoxy that we would need to do 68 feet on each side for the amount of just buying double the floor joists that we already need. So we still got to talk to the owner about this. Unfortunately, it's like the buildings we often get into with him. But yeah, in my mind, just replacing everything, it's a lot of work, but no more work than trying to level and ledger. And then as we reviewed in previous videos, several of these posts have rotten bottoms, so we're going to need to remove and replace. The beam itself, except for each end where it had rotted in the pockets, seems all right. So we should be able to work with that. But like that, yeah, that's a problem. And then the stairs need to be replaced, because as we previously covered, it's missing the bottom, and it's really not held by a lot up here. So yep, that's what we got. I think we can stuff a little bit more into this 20-yarder, getting it swapped tomorrow. And we got a little clean out going on over between the buildings over here. Masons are working on the south side. They're gonna come in here and work up on both. Got a little minor landscaping work to do here. I was picking up the wall pieces from upstairs and some metal thing fell out, and I picked it up, and some electrician, probably an electrician at least, many years ago, apparently got their bit stuck and just abandoned it. So ours now, I guess, although pretty much scrap metal, I think. It's the first time we found a drill bit. Well, time to start getting some destruction going and find out what we got going on back here footing wise. So first step in that is take out the end of this beam, and well, maybe not the end, because that's already taken out. Some pretty impressive rot. So I'll take some more chunks out of it and knock that post over. Timber! I was wondering if it would just fall over.
A little bit of rot at the bottom.
Yeah, that's going back to dirt. Oh, timber! I was wondering if it would just fall over. It was very rotten, but it wasn't completely rotten. That's still kind of solid right in the middle there, but in comparison to like the 6x10 that it was, that's not a lot. And it does look like it's right on the stone. That's what we were wondering about. We got to see how wide it goes, though, just to be able to move this to on our way to cut it back to the joint, which makes sense. They just had that joint floating, and it was surely strong enough. But the idea was to put it under that, and that comes over a little bit. So we'll see what we got. Well, in case you were questioning us just holding this beam up with a single 2x4, it's fine, because when the floor came off and the walls and everything, the weight came off. So these 2x10s are free spanning. Basically, it's just the beam that needs to be supported. So yeah, 2x4 is plenty sufficient for now. All right, so that was a pretty easy cut. I wouldn't say this is super duper thick.
No, it broke up pretty easy.
Yeah, I'll just pop that out with a shovel. And this is first cut here, just investigatory basically. See how far the big stone footing extends. And as you see, we don't have a hose over here. We don't have water service. So we grabbed a bucket. That's
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
not ideal, but it worked. So, like we talked about, if that stone doesn't extend far enough, we're going to need to dig down and add some concrete in there. And the way that sank when it was hit, I'm going to guess that's probably the case. Or if we're catching maybe the side of it.
Right here, there's a little piece right here.
Well, maybe we're doing an addition. We'll figure something out. Well, let's see what we got here.
I hit it over here, it cracked over there. Strange.
Don't strain yourself too much.
There's stone there.
This is just like the previous buildings. It's like the same guys did all the concrete. These would have had dirt floors for a while and then they put concrete over them, but they really didn't do much to prep. And like even here where their big stone footings were, they just didn't even clean them off. They just laid the concrete out. They did joint it, but it's not super level, and that was good enough for the basement floor. The really thin versions of this, you'll hear them called rat slabs to try to keep the rats from burrowing through into your basement. This is a little thicker and more professionally done than that. That would just be concrete spread out basically. This was actually jointed and all that. So what we're looking for here is that stone did actually extend out to the end of our first cut. So we're hoping maybe it goes far enough that it still works for this purpose. If not, like we talked about, we can work on making new with concrete, but it's cheaper and easier on our backs if existing works. Alright, we'll check back in a little bit. Oh, we got it shoveled out along the side, and I think we can pin it and just extend it. And it was kind of loose around it. It looks like they ran some new plumbing through here at some point, and they came right up to the edge of it, so it dug out pretty easy. Now we're just cleaning this up, and that looks pretty monolithic. I think they chipped that corner off. We may after this dries out, do a little more digging to see exactly where the pipe is, just to make sure we're not doing anything dumb. But we'll be able to work with this because the location of the new post will be on the stone, and then we're just going to make it bigger and better and stronger with concrete pinned to it. That'll work. Well, now that it's cleaned up, it actually looks like chunky concrete versus the typical limestone chunks, and that makes some sense. This was built early 1900s, like 1908 or something like that. So clearly still a stone foundation, but they were making concrete. So that is quite possibly what we got there, and that's probably why it chipped off on the corner like that when they broke it. So that's almost even easier to work with. We're doing a little perk test too. It's not going fast. Anyone looking to buy a couple clawfoot bathtubs? For sale, but you got to move them out yourself. I've moved these before. That's not an enviable task. We helped a neighbor carry a clawfoot tub up to his 3rd floor from his basement one time. That's a story for another day, though. I keep turning the electric on, and the lights never turn on. Must be bad bulbs. We're going to take out this first stretch here, roughly back to the stairs or so today. Unfortunately, we have to leave it until the dumpster gets swapped tomorrow, but that's not the end of the world. So I can't imagine it's going to take too long with 2 of us on this, and don't have to be particularly careful. It's going to take more work cleaning the rotten stuff out of the pockets. Just a couple slices in each and keep moving forward.
Dirty over here. I'm sorry. watching you hit the beam and move it over. That's why I waited. Get a couple ahead of you. Believe how far he's dropped
Oh, I believe it.
onto the beam.
We've had some questions in the past that why don't we just use a chainsaw for this? And I always reply back that a very simple reason. Chainsaws always find whatever metal is in whatever you're cutting immediately. And we'd chew up so many chains doing this. The reciprocating saw blades can deal with that. And they're cheap and still relatively quick. So yeah, that's the reason. It's purely because we just don't want to ruin chains. And the reciprocating saws, I mean, you can see they go right through pretty quick. So back at it. Ew. Ah, yeah. Yeah, those were fantastic. Trying to be gentle over the tubs and it still bounced. Ah.
Stuck, so I was waiting to see what your captain might get a call about. I couldn't get my app to the ledge. After that, wait for a second. I think that's the next one. You can take that down as take it together. get out of the way.
Hopefully the whole thing will.
Well, there's another one attached to it too.
Yeah, something like that.
Had a lot of air return in here. Yeah. Wow. I think these joists.
You were walking on that.
Yeah. I know. Nothing.
The beams again. I think this is
Here.
it's not anchored to anything.
No.
Well, that post needs to come out anyway, so
What?
that post needs to get replaced anyway, I think.
So they're just sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
Hopefully the whole thing won't fall over on us.
So we'll replace it with post anchors. Well, if it does, we just set it back up.
Take it apart and rebuild it.
Yeah. Can we rebuild it? Yes, we can. Yeah, I think so.
Alright, you want me to cut mine first? Cut yours?
Well, that was working well, you cutting that out first.
It'll fuck me though.
I got a lock here.
Quit hitting the beam.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It wasn't as rotten.
Sometimes they just don't want to wiggle out. Wasn't as rotten.
No,
Okay, if that's what you say.
it wasn't as rotten.
Yeah. Well, we're almost to the steps. You're welcome.
Yeah, we got this one plumbing stack that goes all the way through the roof.
I know.
Hope he comes in here and looks at these ends.
You can actually see it lowering as it cuts.
Crazy. It just sits there.
What? Oh, that's part of the way.
Oh, I didn't know how far you were going.
last joist we're gonna take today. Oh, haha, ha.
What?
I got a piece of bridging connected.
Just cut this. We have it.
Okay. I mean, yours will go. Because you got bridging too. Oh, it's right there. Ah! Oh, of course I missed it.
I didn't even touch it. I walked over it.
Oh,
Now it's
it's right there.
Ah! What? More bridge? I got near it and fell
Of course
down.
I missed it.
I didn't even touch it. I walked over here to do it.
Oh, I think I can pull it. Well, that turned into more of a production than it should have. So for today, we're gonna leave this. We may end up taking this out, but I want to brace the stairs first because I don't want that to go anywhere. And then that actually makes it easier to replace these rotten posts. We'll just let's pull that whole beam out at this point. Might as well. We'll either reuse it or we'll get new. We'll check it out. But yep, easy enough. Okay. Well, this has got to sit here until the new dumpster arrives. That puts us out of work for the moment. There it is, all gone. For now, at least. So, like I said, waiting on a dumpster. So, we're at the end of the week. I think we're going to wrap things up for this video and get started again next week. And we're also going to be jumping and working on another project at the same time. Old building, kind of a different scope. So, check that out soon as well. I'm excited to jump in there. It's been a little while coming together. So, thanks for rebuilding along with us. If you haven't already done so, we'd really appreciate a like and a subscription. And again, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next video out here at the Collapsing Corner store.